Welcome to GregoryAustinSmith.com. This app shows visualizations of integrated government data. The data is from Toronto, Ontario, and Canada, and it's extracted from publicly available databases. It shows lobbying data, procurement data, granting data, and soon it'll show other types of data too. Let me give you a quick overview. When I arrive at GregoryAustinSmith.com, by default, I'm seeing a visualization of lobbying data. Over here on my right are some checkboxes. This will determine what data appears in the visualization. By default, two boxes are ticked, jurisdiction and beneficiary. So I'm seeing the data sorted in the visualization, first by jurisdiction, i.e. Canada, Ontario, Toronto, and then by beneficiary, which is lobbying lingo for who orchestrated the lobby in the first place. I can tick other boxes, so let me tick firm, i.e. the consulting firm involved in the lobby, and I can drag the order of the boxes, so I'll put firm up at the top, and this data will now be grouped up first by the lobbying firm, if any, then by the jurisdiction, and then by the beneficiary. Certain combinations of grouping order may or may not make sense depending what it is you're interested in learning from the visualization. So that was it in a nutshell. With what I've said there, hopefully you can find some pretty interesting data and visualize it in interesting ways. Simply search in the search field for what you're interested in. I'll type the word housing and hit enter. And then tick some boxes and drag the words around to group the data in a way that is of interest to you. Again, right now I'm just sticking with lobby data, and I've unticked everything except the word beneficiary. So here's what I found in 3 government databases from Canada, Ontario, and Toronto around lobbying, searching on the word housing. So I can navigate around the visualization by clicking and dragging and scrolling my mouse wheel to zoom in and read things on the screen. I can also click a circle, which will do some drill down and pull up all the lobby registration data around that, in this case, beneficiary. Now there's all sorts of nuances around the drill down and so on, which I'll save for another video. Suffice to say for now, if you click on a circle, you're going to drill down into the data. Okay, some more orientation stuff. Please read these 6 points here because they tell you how to use the tick boxes. In a nutshell, search whatever you want in this field. There's all sorts of nuances around searching, which you can learn about by clicking this little help symbol. And then tick what you want to see and drag the boxes in the order you want. So now I'll just go ahead and tick another box for fun. Vendor. So now on my screen are 2 different visualizations, lobby and procurement, and they both arose from searching the word housing. Maybe I'll add in jurisdiction on the procurement visualization, and I'll just zoom out by scrolling my mouse wheel. And so there's my 3 jurisdictions with some procurement data. Again, this is pulled from publicly available databases, and they're pretty great in terms of what data is in there, but again, there's nuances around spelling mistakes and all sorts of stuff that can trip you up, and again, I'll discuss that further in a subsequent video. Let me keep showing you what's on my screen. Right now, 2 visualizations are on my screen, lobby and procurement. They resulted from my search for the word housing and some ticking of boxes here and dragging of words to change the grouping order of the data on my screen. At the bottom of my screen is a little ticker tape. The 3 rows in the ticker are all to do with lobbying data. The top row of the ticker shows beneficiaries, the next row shows lobbyists, and the bottom row shows public office holders, i.e. the people who were lobbied. You can drag the tickers left and right, and you can click on words in the ticker. So I just clicked on Canadian Steel Producers Association, and that'll throw that up into my search field and execute the search. Now, so we'll play this out. So there's some lobbying data, nothing on the procurement side, so I'll untick the procurement field so that my lobbying visualization takes up the screen, and I'll zoom in. Now I'll add in more data by ticking these boxes. Just for fun, I'll tick them all. And there's a little ecosystem around Canadian Steel Producers Association, starting with beneficiary, which probably doesn't make sense for this particular search, because presumably all this data is around that one beneficiary, although not necessarily. I'm going to unclick beneficiary, and I'm going to unclick title and lobbyist, and I will put jurisdiction above firm. Now I should see my 3 jurisdictions, or perhaps this beneficiary did not lobby all 3. Well, that makes sense. They've lobbied Canada and Ontario. The next thing in the grouping order is the firm. So Canada, Global Public Affairs. Next thing is the public office holder, i.e. who was met with. Let's add in the lobbyist, put the lobbyist under firm. You get the idea. You can play around with what you check here and the grouping order here. That is it in a nutshell. There's hundreds of thousands of rows of data behind this visualization. And as I say, there's nuances around searching and how to pull out exactly what you want. But I hope I've given you enough to at least get started, and check back for a subsequent video where we get into some nitty-gritty. Thanks for watching.